You know, it's crazy to think that we only have three friend summon LRs in Dokkan. We only have LR Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. We only have LR 17 and 18. Then we have LR Hercule. Is LR 18 and 17 the first friend summon LRs? They are, because they premiered September 15th of 2016, right? Then it was LR Hercule, of course, pre-EZA. I'm going to put them all pre-EZA. We're going to talk about them, right? It's crazy. Yeah, we haven't gotten a new friend summon LR since 2018. And the great thing about this was the fact that they were releasing friend LRs almost yearly, right? Because they came out 2016 on JP and then 2017 on Global for LR 17 and 18. Then for LR Hercule, he would come out 2017 in the same year for both Global and JP. And then, of course, Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 would come out in 2018 together, right? So I don't see why Dokkan hasn't released a new friend summon LR since 2018. We're long overdue, right? Like, you're probably playing Dokkan right now. Go ahead and go over to summons and look at how many friend points you have. Crazy, right? You literally cannot use them for anything. The only time friend points are only useful, only time is when they add like these Kais to the banners, right? When they do like these special friend summon banners, when you're able to get like these like grand Kais and elder Kais along these sleeping dozing Kais, I mean, guys, that's quite valuable, yeah? Because I bet you watching this video, you have hundreds of thousands of friend points, yeah? Probably millions of friend points, yeah? So it's absolutely ridiculous, yeah? Let me see 17, 18. Of course, 17 and 18 were the first friend summon LR, and this is what the banner looked like, right? Yeah? And then they introduced Hercule, yeah? Hercule came out June 13th of 2017, and 17 and 18 came out September 15th of 2016. Is that when this banner came out? Friend summon reinforced. What is this banner? What the hell is his banner, guys? Wow. Oh man, Dokkan. Like, look at it. What? You got all these items for doing one multi. The bonus items can be obtained by performing multi summons. So if you did this multi for the thank you celebration back in 2019, you gained a Kai, a sleeping Kai, two Hercule statues, an Elder Kai medal, and a Supreme Kai medal, as well as like some training areas and some training items. That's good. This is so good, right? For 2,000 friend points. Maybe they upped it more because you got all this stuff, but still, this is really crazy, right? Oh wait, no, 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 no. This is all the stuff that you can possibly obtain when doing the friend summon. It's one at a time. Okay, I thought you got them all together. That would have been ridiculous. That would have been just absolutely ridiculous, right? You take a look at all these friend summon banners. It's like the most valuable ones are the ones you're able to perform these premium special friend summons, right? Because I don't think JP has ever done this before. It's only Global. Global is the only ones that have done this. I don't know why I haven't done it for JP, but hey, who cares, right? So let's go ahead and talk about each and every one of these friend summon LRs, starting from LR 17 and 18. I think when LR 17 and 18 first came out, they were probably only really useful for their all types leader skill for 4 key. That's really about it. But other than that, I mean, they lower attack on super, gain 15,000 attack performing a super attack. I don't think this unit really held too much value other than their leader skill, right? Because they were out during the leader skill meta in Dokkan. Well, leader skill slash Dokkan event meta. So that's really all they brought to the table. And then post EZA, they're definitely a great free to play LR. Probably a top 10 free to play LR in the game because they do technically have a usable leader skill for, I guess, Dokkan Battlefield and Battlefield. Probably. Do not quote me on that, right? For Battlefield, I mean, for Battlefield, sure, but for Battle Road, probably not, yeah? They do gain defense on the 12 and 18 super attack as well as still lowering attack, so they are a complete dynamo inside Battle Road and Super Battle Road, so you can definitely still use them if you're not using them for their leader skill. Of course, they start out with attack and defensive buff when, well, they don't. They don't start out with attack and defensive buff. But they do start out with a defensive buff, technically. Yeah, they start out with 4 key and 50% defense because they give extreme class allies 4 key and 50% defense right over here. Then they gain additional 3 keys, 78% attack, and gain additional super attack chance when going against a super class enemy, right? So yes, they gain defense from both their passive and their super attack effects post EZA, and they lower superclass enemies defense by 78%. That is complete dog water because lowering defense is just not useful at all. But the fact that they gain key and attack and have additional super attack chance from going up against superclass enemies, which is very common, is very nice. And they are a support type unit that gains 2 separate procs of defense on super from passive and super attack effects as well as lowering attack, right? So being a support type unit that lowers attack, gain defense from 2 separate procs in their passive and their super attack effect is definitely great, right? I think if they made the superclass enemies minus 78% attack, they would never. They would never do that because that would make this unit gross. Lowering attack is very, very powerful, but really to counteract that, they could just make the boss not be able to have their attack lowered, right? That's pretty easy for them to do, yeah? So 17 and 18, I would probably say 17 and 18 is easily the best of all three. Post EZA, it's not even a close discussion, right? Let's go over to LR Hercule, who is easily the worst of all the three. LR Hercule, pre-EZA, of course, all types, HP and defense, 100%. That is it. On his super attack effect, he has a 10% chance of stun, or no, 20%. On his super attack effect, on his 12 key, he has a 20% chance of stun, and on his 18 key, he gains 50% defense for 3 turns, which is definitely cool. But guess what? The issue is that you have to rely on him getting his 7 key and 20,000 attack with that 70% chance of him getting that anyways. So if he doesn't, he's going to struggle for key. If he does, then you just have to get him a little bit more key for him to build up his defense for those multiple turns. But I think Hercule, back in 2017, Battle Road was not out. It was still like the leader skill slash Dokkan event meta. This guy was pretty much useless. Yeah, it was just pretty much the same thing with the 17 and 18 back in 2016. They held not much use. You probably got more use out of them because of their leader skill. Sure, their leader skill is definitely more useful because they were giving key opposed to them giving HP and defense by 100%. But I would still say that 17, 18 upon release were definitely more useful because of that key leader skill opposed to this Hercule right here, right? So really Hercule, there wasn't really too much good about this guy because, I mean, during that Dokkan event meta, who cared about running this guy because the leader skill sucked anyways, right? So, going on over to him post EZA, he definitely becomes much more better as a Battle Road unit. Let's go back on over when the 17-18 EZA during the God event meta. Very interesting, yeah. And they EZA'd while, oh, excuse me. Let me go back on over to that. They EZA'd while JP had first got in the red zone? Yeah? Okay. So, they came out during the God event meta. I would probably say this unit, you could probably use this unit in the God event. Probably. Hey, you can get away with it, right? Probably, yeah. We'll go back over to Hercule. Hercule was introduced during the Extreme Super Battle Road meta, and I would probably say for Super Attack, this guy was useful, no? He had stun chance, he can build up his attack and defense multiple turns, which is definitely nice. He still had that 70% chance to gain 7 key, and then he gained 77% attack to opposed to his 20,000 attack. Yeah. And now he also gains key and defense for the 3 turns at the start turn, which is definitely very nice. Why couldn't that just be unrestricted? I don't know, but hey, they decided to leave that off. He also has a 50% chance to dodge for 3 turns after taking an attack, and he is a attack debuffer for 3 turns. He attack debuffs for 3 turns. I think an issue with him is him having to take the hit so that he can have that 50% chance to dodge anyways. That is not that great, but think about it, right? You do the 18 key super to the enemy, you're attack debuffing him anyway, so that way it can cushion the blow for him to support his 50% chance to dodge after he takes an attack anyways, right? For those 3 turns of dodging. So I think Hercule, although he is the worst of the 3, I think that for Extreme Super Battle Road, for that Super Tech stage, like him going up against Extreme AGL, that can work because he has stun chance in his 12 key, he is an attack debuffer, he has dodge chance, and he starts out with key and defense, yeah? And he still has that 70% chance to gain key and attack, right? So he's good. The only real issue with this guy, same with these androids, but the androids probably are in the better spot because they have Shocking Speed, Fear and Faith, Nightmare, and I mean, the Innocence and Twin Terrors. I mean, some of these links you can probably squeeze them out, but the androids definitely have better links than Hercule. The issue with Hercule is that his links are just completely just trash. Golden Z Fighter? Who in the hell has Golden Z Fighter? You two have Golden Z Fighter? What is this? It's like 3 key and a 5% chance to crit is nice, but guess what? No one has his link. Let's go back on over to him, right? Soul versus Soul. What? It's like Hero's a good link. 25% defense is pretty nice. Supreme Power is a Buu Saga link, and you have the Innocence. I mean, his link combination is just not good. Weakens enemies' regeneration. Okay. Then gives himself 2 key and 5% attack and defense, which is nice. This is good. This is a good link. Yeah. But the problem is, look who has it. It's uncommon. All these uncommon links that Hercule has are just bad. So like he's just really a team player. He's helping you out inside Extreme Super Battle Road back in 2020, yes, because he's attack debuffing, he's stunning, he's building up his attack and defense for multiple turns with his 8th key super attack. He has a chance to gain key and attack over here. He starts out with key and defense over here. He has dodge chance over here. This guy's working. This guy is cooking, provided he is in the correct scenario, that being in the Battle Road scenario or inside Dokkan Battlefield if you want to run him there anyways, yes. So we're going over to the last EZA unit we're going to talk about for this video. I still think that 17 18 are better than Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. Although you can go ahead and run Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 inside Omega, that is impressive. I still think that 17 18 are much more useful in my opinion, at least. If you say that Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 are better than 17 18, I'm not even going to say you're wrong. Because they're kind of close, yeah. They're both support type units, except I feel like 17 18 are just going to look better defensively than Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 are, right? So, let's go and talk about Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 pretty easy. I mean, the only real useful thing about this unit at the time they're easier during the, no, they came out during the Battle Road meta, yeah? So for Battle Road, oh, excuse me, I keep clicking on other stuff. For Battle Road, right? I mean, I would probably say their leader skill, no, you don't want to use this leader skill. 100% attack and defense. No, excuse me. That's HP, that's Superclass allies 100% the stats with no key when you have all 5 typings. This skill is just trash. It's complete doo-doo. Because if you're not giving key, it's just, who cares? It's the same thing with this Hercule pre-easy. It's like, this is bad. Well, that is bad. Man, this is bad. No key, we don't want to run it. This is why the androids were working at the time, because they're giving key and their leader skill. Back on over to Great Saiyaman 1 and 2, the only real useful thing about them back in 2018 was the fact that they were sealing, and they were a super class ally support of 4 key and 50% defense. Yes? So, for 2018, they can work inside Battle Road, right? For Buu Saga Battle Road, if it was out at the time, they can work because they seal and they give a super class ally support. So this unit was working in there, right? They just like, you just had to be careful because if they got touched, they went kapooey. Like, they were done. Yeah, they were just completely gone. They start out with 50% defense, right? And then they debuffed extreme class enemies defense by 70%. But guess what? Debuffing defense is not useful, right? And sure, they gave the super class ally support of 30% attack for 2 turns. But guys, guess what? This is not really... It's something, but who really cares? Inside Battle Road, back in 2018, for the Buu Saga stage, you wanted them to seal, and you wanted them to just keep giving their support type buff, because 4 key and 50% defense is nice, yeah? Now, post-EZA, yeah? The elite skill definitely becomes much more usable for Battle Road. You can run them inside that super class stage for their 3 key, 1/3% of the stats when you have all 5 types of super types. So, they're useful on that front. They now gain defense for both their 12 and 18 key super attack. They still give allies... but they give, they went from 20% attack. No, they still give allies 30% attack for 2 turns, which is definitely cool. And they seal on super. Yeah, still sealing on super, gain defense on super attack. They start with attack and defensive buff. They still give their super class ally support, and then they gain more attack and additional super attack chance to go against a super class, no, extreme class enemy. I completely overread that. But yeah, additional super attack chance with attack buff and still giving their key and defensive buff. I think they gave 50% attack and defense with the 4 key. They'll be ridiculous, but still, they're a support type unit that seals, gains additional super attack chance, so this unit is good, right? So let's say if they 18 key super attack, if they double super, they'll go ahead and buff the allies attack for those 2 turns, and they'll seal, right? Because they have additional super attack chance, yeah? As well as them being support typing. They're a support type unit inside their passive, and they're 18 key super, yes? So they're a dual support type unit that can double super and raise their allies attack by 30% for those 2 turns, as well as have them have them seal on super, right? And start with attack and defensive buff. So a dual support type unit that has additional super attack chance that can buff your allies twice and seal on super, they're good. Yeah? They're good. Easily, right? They came out during the God event meta, but the problem is during the God event meta, they got squished. Yeah, you brought them in the God event meta, they probably got completely obliterated. Compared to them inside the God event, I would probably say this unit could work better in the God event than them. Probably, right? But I think that is really about it. To say who is the best pre-EZA, I'm probably going to go with the Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 because they seal, they gave a 2-turn attack buff as well as their support type passive is very, very powerful for superclass allies. At number 2, I'll have 17 18 pre-EZA, of course, because at least go back in 2016 was very good for that time, of course. And Hercule is easily the worst of them because Hercule's just ass, right? I still think that the androids are the best. Yeah. Additional super attack chance they can. It's because, I mean, 50% attack defense one turn is too powerful, right? So, I mean, them having a better 18 key super than Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 just matters. So they can gain a 50% attack and defensive raise for that one turn, then they can just double super. You're more than likely going to go up against, what, super class enemies, and you go up against stream class enemies. So I think this unit, with their stream class support, as well as them lowering attack on super, and gaining defense with their 12 and 18 key super attack is very powerful. Yeah, because you're going up against more superclass enemies. So they hit harder, they defend better, and they're a support type unit, right? That lowers attack. I would say they're almost there, but the problem is that obviously, of course, hitting hard does not really mean much. But for in like a free to play, if like we're talking strictly free to play LRs, it will mean something, right? Because if they're gaining 50% attack and defense on an 18 key super, that's just outright better than their 18 key super of them buffing stream class buffing super class allies attack by 30% for 2 turns. Who cares, right? So I think that is really about it. So I would say the 17-18 is better than Great Saiyaman 1 and 2. So it's 1, 2, and 3. I mean, Hercule, I got what they were going for. Hercule's design is not terrible, but he's easily the worst LR EZA probably, right? Never mind. I would probably say that Zamasu Goku's the worst. Yeah, I should probably talk about all LR EZAs. That's a long video, probably. Yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching. You guys are the best. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.